Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make something really easy and quick, and it's my Nonna's steamed cod. You can use any fish that you really want for this, but she uses cod, so I tend to use cod, and this recipe truly is so simple and easy, and I was not planning on sharing it with you, but a couple nights ago I made it for dinner, took a picture, posted on Instagram, and everybody was like, recipe, recipe, recipe. I actually posted a collage of a bunch of pictures, and everybody wanted all the recipes, so I'm going to film them for you this week because if they are highly requested, it means you guys really want to see them. The recipe is really easy. It's so good, you cannot even imagine. These are some cod fillets. You can see that they are about, I would say about an inch thick. Some are a little bit bigger than others. The important thing is that they're all about the same thickness. These are frozen, which is wonderful, a wonderful option if you can't find really fresh fish. My Nonna always says to go ahead and buy it frozen if you can, because when they are frozen, when anything is frozen really, it is frozen at the peak of their freshness. So you don't have to wonder whether or not this fish is fresh. You know it's fresh, you know it's good to go, you know it's not gonna be rancid, and so it's always a better option if your fish at the fishmonger or at the fish counter isn't looking all that great. So just go ahead and buy it frozen. You can cook it this way and it's amazing every single time. Then you just need some lemon, some parsley, some garlic, extra virgin olive oil, and some salt. And I'm going to serve it with green beans, which I'll explain to you in just a minute because I've had a lot of questions about how I like to serve my green beans. So I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. So this method is somewhat in between a steam and a poach. So usually poaching requires a lot of liquid, a lot of water. Not in this case. I'm going to show you why. This is literally exactly the way she does it, so I'm going to share it with you. You can do exactly the same method in the oven, but you'll just take a little bit longer to cook. You're going to need to add a little bit of water to the bottom of your skillet. Not a lot. You can see it's probably less than a cup of water. You don't want too much because you don't want your fish to boil in the water, especially if your fillets are, I'm going to use my hands, if your fillets are frozen, they're going to go all over the place. So you just go ahead and you put them in there, and it's okay if they overlap a little, totally fine, because these are going to steam up and they're going to be delicious and they're going to be flaky and wonderful. So just leave them like that. You can see they're not submerged in water at all. Then you need 2 cloves of garlic. You can use as much or as little garlic as you want. I like to give this a slice. This is really, really important. And like I said, you can do the same thing in the oven. Just make sure that you use your casserole dish or whatever and you cover it. You have to put the garlic cloves on top of the fish and some in the water. It's fine because the water will sort of infuse it throughout, but you should always have it on the top of the fish because just that's how we've always done it. I don't really know why, just if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So a couple of cloves like that on top and in the water just to sort of infuse everything, and the same exact thing with the parsley. Now the lemon doesn't go in at this point, so you just need to put your parsley on top like so. And then I already started to put a little bit of olive oil, then I realized you weren't with me just yet. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Originally, you know, my Nonna would use regular olive oil or extra virgin. I prefer extra virgin simply because there's not a whole lot of flavor going on here. So any flavor I want to add to it, I want it to be sort of bold. I want it to give me a lovely, lovely flavor, even though there's not a lot going on. So extra virgin is my preferred oil, but you can do like my Nonna and use either one. Up to you. World is your pickle, my friend, like I've always told you. Now, while that happens, all you need to do to this is you need to put the heat on, let that water come to a boil. Once the water is up to a boil, you turn the heat down to low, put a lid on it, let that simmer for about 20 minutes or so, or steam, or until the fish is fully cooked and really flaky. So while that's happening, I want to share with you sort of my method of cooking my favorite green beans, which is just like a side dish of green beans whenever I feel like I'm in the mood to make them. I have gotten so many questions over the years about how I prepare them because I've shared them with you on sides and things like that, but I've never explained it. You boil some green beans into some boiling water for about 25 to 30 minutes or until they're very tender. Then you drain them, and while they're hot, you put them in a bowl, and with the hot green beans, you add a couple of cloves of peeled garlic. You let those garlic cloves sit underneath the green beans so that in the time that this is sort of sitting and cooling, the green beans will sort of, that garlic will kind of infuse throughout the green beans. And the important thing is, now you need to let these sit for 30 minutes. While that's happening, I'm going to keep an eye on my fish. Everything will be ready at the same time, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all ready. Alright, my fish is fully cooked. Now, admittedly, it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it's so good for you. It's light, yet full of flavor, absolutely delicious, so easy. Now, this is what you need to do. You've got some of that liquid now still in your pot, and it's really flavorful with the garlic and the olive oil and the parsley and salt. To this liquid, you are going to add a squeeze of lemon. And I know what you're thinking, why not just you know, go right over top? Because that's how my Nonna does it. So I'm going to do it the way Nonna does it. I'm saying it really, really fast. I'm going to do things just the way my Nonna does. And then you take this liquid, this lovely poaching liquid, and you just pour it on top. This keeps the fish really moist. You can see, if you're paying attention, there's one little piece missing. And I'm going to tell you what had happened. And what had happened is I was hungry. I gave myself a little snack. But you know, that's what happens when you cook at home, in your own kitchen. You're the boss. This is my happy place, so treat myself once in a while. Treat myself every day. And then you just take this gorgeous poaching liquid and you just sort of, you want that fish to be flavorful, and you also just want to keep it moist, but that is it. I'm not going to add any more to it. I'm going to leave it as is. Now I'm going to just step this aside and work on my green beans really quickly, because all these need is a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, not much, a tablespoon for all that, if that, salt, and then a squeeze of lemon here as well. And this just really goes together well. If you want to, you can serve some brown rice, some steamed rice, some white rice, some couscous, some quinoa, anything you want. But really, for me and for Joe and I, this is just a really beautiful, lovely, light yet flavorful dinner that we go to very, very often. If you follow me all over social media, you know that, because I've shared this with you many times, which is why I think it was so highly requested. As you can see, if you come a little bit closer, the fish just sort of flakes really easily. See that? There is no fighting with this fish. It just flakes beautifully. It's fully cooked through. It is so wonderful. I don't even know how to explain it. Okay, my dinner's ready. Super simple and easy. I will have everything written for you on laurainthekitchen.com. I hope that you found this helpful. Follow me on Instagram. If you don't, you get a lot of chances of seeing what I'm cooking on a weekly basis, what's maybe to come on Laura in the Kitchen. All the links will be down below. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!